So my name's Gary Halperin. I live in Sarasota County, and my daughter Hannah is 6 years old, and Hannah has Down syndrome. And when my wife was pregnant and we found out that the possibility existed higher than normal that we might have a child with Down syndrome, we got in touch with Manasota BUDS. Manasota BUDS is an organization for parents and children and kids who have Down syndrome. BUDS stands for Bringing Up Down Syndrome, and there are chapters throughout the country. Manasota BUDS exists to support families that have children with Down syndrome, and to exchange information and put on programs. So when we contacted Manasota BUDS, and what the first thing they'll do is bring a packet over for the families, an information packet. So it was very, very helpful. There's a couple books about Down syndrome and information, and so that was really good to read the books before Hannah was born, and to know more going in what we were going to be facing. Pardon me? Right. We got that initial support from Manasota BUDS, which was amazing. There's a monthly meeting that Manasota BUDS has, where they'll often bring in a guest speaker to talk about various issues that might come up. And Manasota BUDS will then support various opportunities for kids with Down syndrome. One thing about children with Down syndrome is they can learn, but it always is going to take longer, and they're always going to need more instruction. And so, I could enroll Hannah in swim lessons, individual lessons, group lessons, and she would get somewhere, but she's always going to take longer than a typically developing kid. So this kind of opportunity is so important for kids with Down syndrome, because they need all the extra help they can get. And, and things cost money, and for parents, they always have to make decisions about, well, what are we going to do? How much can we, support our kid, and the extra help that they're always going to need throughout their life. Hannah works great one-on-one. That's her best thing. And it was very easy for me to notice how valuable it was for her to be in the water with one instructor for a half hour to really move her along. And kids with Down syndrome really need that extra help. They did a lot on, if you fall into the water, what do you do? So it was a lot about, you're in the, you've jumped in, you're in the water, what are you going to do? Turn around and get to the wall. So there was a lot of that training. And that just makes, a parent feel a lot more comfortable, that we know that if something were to happen, if she were to encounter that she would have the ability and the confidence to get herself to safety. Thank you so much for putting on that program, that whoever identified that need, and, for people who live in Sarasota County who have a child with Down syndrome. Again, like I said, the programs are not as plentiful as they are in Manatee and Bradenton, and so we all appreciate having that opportunity. So we really thanks a lot for supporting that. And, if you know a child with special needs, or, you know that these kids are capable of so much, but they really do need extra help, and any extra help they can get is so valuable for them. And it's challenging to always, to pick and choose what you want to do. So when we get this opportunity, when someone has been so generous as to provide something for free for these kids, it means a lot to the parents. And like I said, it really helps the kids to have that opportunity. Another thing about the swim lessons is, in general, sometimes kids with Down syndrome, because they have low muscle tone and they have trouble exercising in various ways, they don't exercise a lot, and then a lot of them have weight issues and obesity issues. So any kind of physical thing is great, and the water is sort of an equalizer. Like, she can move in the water pretty well. Hannah is challenged walking and running. She can walk and run, but not as fast, and sometimes she gets real frustrated about that. So like, if her sisters are running, she'll say, well, I don't want to do it. But she loves to be in the water, and she loves the pool. So, she's mentally very good for a kid with Down syndrome, and I think part of that is because she's physical, that the physical helps her mental. And so she actually, this summer, she suddenly could read. She pretty much, I brought brought her to the library and we picked out some books and I said, well, let's sit down and read them. And I opened it up and I said, well, do you know any of the words? What word is that? And she actually could read the whole book. She's in a regular kindergarten and she's a year ahead of most of the kids age-wise, but she's in a regular kindergarten and she's ahead. She's the top reader in the class.